Okay, let's open this up. Joining us here on Super 6 is Bhaskar Rao, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. He's also served as the Commissioner of Police in Bengaluru. We also have Shatabish Shivanna, Deputy Spokesperson of the Karnataka Congress. Namaskara. Thank you both very much for your time. Shivanna, I'd like to begin with you. What do you make of the fact that the Murthys have said that, look, we don't want to be a part of the survey? Of course, the court had made it clear that the survey and being a part of it is optional. But the question that then comes up is whether we're seeing a futile exercise here. If people can opt out, how are we ever going to get the real numbers of what Karnataka's socio-economic status currently is?
No, absolutely. Thank you for clarifying that this is not a caste census. It is a socio-economic and educational survey. Unfortunately, there has been a deliberate misinterpretation by certain voices that has created this sort of confusion amongst the public at large. Now, as far as Srimati Sudamurthy is concerned, with due respect, her understanding is totally misconceived and fundamentally incorrect. This is a survey being carried out by the Backward Classes Commission, not a survey of the backward classes. There's a fundamental and critical difference. It is a survey of the entire population intended to measure relative backwardnesses of all communities. Frankly, I didn't expect such a misunderstanding from someone of her stature. Perhaps we have to simplify the explanation like Srimati Sudamurthy's books so that everyone can understand. This is a survey of backwardness, not of backward castes. There can be economically or educationally backward sections even among the most forward communities. A poor economically poor Brahmin struggling for and making ends meet is also a part of this survey as much as anybody else. So we must stop viewing this in a caste lens or a community lens. This is about data, it is about dignity and development.
But it's also about social justice. It's also about social justice.
And to answer your other question, why are we doing this and what is the authenticity? See, it is a mandate by law. The Backward Classes Commission Act is there. Indira Sahni's judgment is there. It is a mandate and an affirmative direction to all states to conduct a survey. Now, if you're opposing the survey, you're opposing data. If you're opposing data, you're opposing social justice. I don't understand how someone of Srimati Sudamurthy's stature can make such a glaring mistake in basic understanding and basic fundamentals of law.
Mr. Bhaskar Rao, your opening comment on what we're seeing right now. The Congress is saying there's a difference between a caste survey and a socio-economic survey.
Before that, I only want to say that this government is busy in ridiculing industrialists and people who have contributed to the state. That is number one. And making fun of Sudha Murty or Kiran Mazumdar, etc. First of all, this survey does not inspire confidence. It is a politically motivated survey to garner some numbers and some figures, number one. Number two, the survey itself, the enumerators are not qualified. They ask you about 60 to 65 questions, which are absolutely irrelevant. Then they ask so many personal questions. And most important is that we are not confident about how this data is going to be used. Just only your phone number in the public domain can create so much of disturbance for you. You can imagine all the kinds of personal questions these people ask over there. Why should I share all these things? And all this information is going to some private servers. We are not confident about what information we are giving is. And thirdly, as what Sudha Murty, the Murthy couple have mentioned, that this survey which you are trying to do is meant for the welfare of the backward classes.
No, what do you mean by meant? What do you mean, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, when you say that this survey is meant for the backward classes?
What I mean is that by finding out information about me, I am not relevant anymore. Nothing is going to happen to me. No benefit is going to come. To tell you frankly, the Akhil Karnataka Brahmana Mahasabha also has given a call to all its 78,000 members not to participate in the survey because this survey is irrelevant to us. It is meant only for mathematics of the caste, which Mr. Siddaramaiah is very, very fond of doing, and pitting one caste against the other and collecting information here and there, propping up one against the other. There is no ethics involved in this survey. Enumerators are not fully qualified. And moreover, madam, I want to tell you that it is being collected digitally. I don't know which server it is also going to go through. And it doesn't inspire confidence. The amount of information it asks. And finally, if you're staying on a 13th floor apartment, they ask you a question, how many sheep and how many cows you are having over there. Means a very irrelevant survey, which the deputy chief minister of the state himself has ridiculed and said that don't ask these foolish and stupid questions over there. So there has been very poor preparation
Okay.
and poor administration of the survey.
No, so
Operators are not qualified, and the data security
So
is also
has this
triple risk
survey,
over there.
and Shivanna, the
Moreover,
question that comes up here is, look, you may question what Sudhamurthy has to say. You may question why Sudhamurthy doesn't want to be a part of the survey. It's her choice. It's an option she's been given,
Yeah.
considering that this is not a
Option by the
mandatory
High Court.
exercise. Considering this isn't a mandatory exercise. But that's why I ask about whether this is a futile exercise. How will you actually know the data if people have that option of backing out? Shivanna.
See, absolutely. At no point in time are we holding anyone by their neck and saying you must participate. The Honorable High Court of Karnataka has made it expressly clear that the participation must be voluntary.
So that
Now,
holds
I
good for
can't-
Sudhamurthy
no,
too?
no. The problem, it applies to Sudhamurthy. We don't have any qualms of whether she's participating or not participating. But the reasoning that she has given, she says, I'm a person who does not belong to the backward community. This survey does not apply to me. No, madam. That is the fundamental error that you're making. The Backward Classes Commission is conducting this survey, not just of the backward classes. They conduct this survey of the entire population to ensure or ascertain who amongst all communities remain backward.
Okay, so to
Now,
that,
by
to
you
that,
making
the
that
BJP
statement,
has said, what
when
difference
someone-
does it make that this is a survey that's being used as a political tool, and at the end of the day, only the backward classes will benefit, is the BJP's argument?
Yes, of course, the backward classes only will benefit. We are not intending now which state government.
So that's what
intends
Sudhamurthy has said in her reason.
One second. Which state government or any nation, we conduct and gather data to ensure that the backward is uplifted and they come to the mainstream. We don't want to benefit the persons who are already forward.
No,
But
so that's
as
what
I
she
tell
has
you,
said.
I'll give you this logic. No. She's talking about community. She's talking about caste, not about class. That is the fundamental difference. Now, basic example. For most forward community is Brahmins. Can there or can there not be a socially, educationally, economically backward person belonging to the Brahmin community? Now, what Sudhamurthy is essentially saying is, because I belong to a forward Brahmin community, I won't participate in the survey. What kind of absolute basic misconception is this? This is the problem we have with her. Whether she wants to participate or not, that is left to her. That is absolutely left to her. You
Okay.
can take part if you wish.
Bhaskar
You
Rao,
do not take
Bhaskar
part
Rao,
if you
yeah,
don't.
let's give the BJP a chance to respond. Bhaskar Rao.
What is the purpose of participating? Please ask Mr. Shivanna. Why should others participate?
Shivanna, do you want to answer that?
Why should I participate? And when I'm not going to be benefited, and you already come to a conclusion, what needs to be done over there? Why should I participate? And you are not giving me sufficient confidence about the secrecy.
Okay, let's show
of data.
Shivanna as well. Yeah, Shivanna, do you want to respond to that
Yes,
particular
yes.
question?
But you don't
The
inspire
simple
confidence.
reason, the simple reason why we are conducting this survey is to simply understand, in a society, how the society is doing, whether it is doing well, whether it's not doing well, who is doing well, who has been left behind, and whoever is left behind, what can the government do to uplift them? This is the most simplest terms that I can explain it in. If people are opposing this survey, they're opposing the constitution. If they're opposing this constitution, they're opposing social justice. People sitting like Bhaskar Rao in high and mighty AC chambers won't understand the reality of the backward classes, won't understand the reality of backward communities. Is it not the state government's duty to uplift them?
How
That
long
is
you are going
precisely
to
why
keep
we're doing the survey, sir. Now, Indra
how long you
Sahni's
are going to
judgment is
keep the
clear.
backward class
Sir, please
In any
understand
case,
Bhaskar Rao,
basic common
Shivanna-
law.
gathering-
Understand
Shivanna, just
basic
hold on.
common
I've
law.
given you a chance to respond to that particular question. Mr. Bhaskar Rao, complete your point.
In any case, by gathering the information, they are not going to do anything for the Brahmin over there. So why are you so much interested in my well-being or a poor? You are not going to do anything for a poor Brahmin also. So why do you want it for them? And she is very much right. And Sudha Murty and Narayanamurthy have taken a decision. It's a decision that they have carefully thought about and taken, not a whimsical decision. They have not taken a political decision. As a common man, I'm telling you, your data, the data that you are going to collect about me, where is it going? Who is storing the data? What is the guarantee you are not going to sell away all my data over there? You don't inspire confidence at all. and you want me to participate in a survey that is optional. Even the Honorable High Court is not convinced. Instead of short of cancelling the survey, they have said, okay, make it optional. So if an optional survey, what kind of truth is going to come out? And Akshata, this is the fourth survey they are doing, not the first survey.
No.
Survey after survey, they are rejecting it because
Fair
they are not
enough.
having the numbers.
Fair enough. That's a point also, Shivanna, that's constantly coming up, that we've seen previously surveys conducted with serious, issues, with loopholes that have emerged. What's the guarantee that this time around it's going to be foolproof? You're saying it's optional, but in the previous answer when we were talking, you went on to go ahead and shame all those who don't want to be a part of the survey.
No, I'm not trying to shame anybody who doesn't want to be a part of the survey. I'm saying simply this. A person like Sudha Murty and her stature, who doesn't understand the basic fundamentals and passing those comments, that is what I have a problem with. If she chooses to participate or not participate, that is not my concern at all. And with respect to data protection,
Hold on, Mr. Rao.
no, one second, sir, 1 second. I didn't interrupt
I
you.
think Akshata should-
And the Honorable Mr.
can't-
Bhaskar Rao is saying the Honorable High Court also has a problem. The Honorable High Court has said go ahead with the survey. They have granted permission to the state government to conduct the survey. And they, insofar as data protection is concerned, they have said
Mr.
the
Bhaskar Rao, just
backward-
hold on, please. Yeah.
Insofar as data protection is concerned, the Honorable High Court has said, let the State Backward Classes Commission hold that data. Don't even share it with the state government. Now, I don't understand why Mr. Bhaskar Rao is creating this confusion among the public and motivating them not to participate in the survey. When you are in power, sir, when the BJP is in power, you also conducted a backward classes survey. There is a permanent backward classes commission. I don't know if you know that.
Okay, one at a time.
Basic
Mr. Bhaskar Rao, hold on. I'll give you a chance to respond. Let Shivanna finish his point.
See, Mr. Bhaskar Rao's basic misunderstanding of law and lack of understanding of the Supreme Court judgments is what's leading him to make these
It is not
statements.
Supreme Court, it's High Court.
Indra Sahani's judgment is clear that when a state government must implement social welfare policies for its people, they must collect data. Without collecting data, you cannot implement
But how
these
foolproof
policies.
is this data if it's voluntary and if it's optional, Shivan? Now, the question I have is, at the end of the day, when you complete the survey and you're putting out data, it's going to be a futile exercise because you don't know, one second, you don't know the actual numbers. How many people are not even a part of the survey? So on what basis can you say this is the actual socio-economic setup of Karnataka?
See, unlike the caste census that is conducted by the central government, that is a mandatory exercise. If you don't participate in the caste census that is conducted by the central government, you will be liable to penal provisions. But the idea of a socio-economic survey is completely different. We don't need exact numbers. This is what I'm precisely trying to say. We don't need exact numbers. We're not trying to enumerate how many people belong to how many castes. It is just to get an understanding of the backwardness of a particular community
even that
in
will
a
be
state.
skewered.
Simple.
Even that will be skewered. When you don't have people participating, that will be skewered.
So therefore, every individual must understand this basic structure and participate.
Mr. Bhaskar Rao, your final response before we wrap this up.
Shivanna and his ilk, they only want to divide and make a mincemeat of society.
The only person who is trying to divide is you, sir.
Backward classes over there, they have not done anything for the backwards, not done anything for the Muslims also, not done anything for the scheduled castes also. They only want to make peace of society, and Sudha Murty and Narayanamurthy are very much in their place. The High Court itself has not agreed.
What do you mean? How can he even say that on national television?
Okay, all right. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to wrap this up right now. Thank you both for joining us here on Super 6.